right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. This is John Gray, and I'm with Coach John Olive, and this is the 20th year of the John Olive Fifth Quarter Show. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Excuse me. First game, McGavock at home. Didn't know whether we were going to play it last night or today because of the rain situation. Ended up playing last night. Had a good night for football.
It was a great night for football in the middle of August.
Yes, sir.
Felt like a fall evening, and one of the coolest opening game nights that we've had, I believe.
It was comfortable in the stands, and that's good. Had plenty of representation in the stands. A lot of fans up there. Everybody ready for Tullahoma High School football.
I think there's excitement, every year at this time of the year, especially for all of us that love the game of football. And, I know I feel excitement every year of trying to get a football team ready, but also looking forward to the college football season coming on. And
that's right.
Just, I guess you could say, my favorite time of the year.
Well, and you had, you had a lot of very talented people last year that left, and you have a young team.
Yeah, we do. We're young and we're inexperienced in a lot of areas, but last night showed basically what we've been doing during the preseason. In the scrimmages that we've had in the preseason, we're not very consistent. We're not a good tackling team at this point in time. It bothers me that physically, probably in the two scrimmages and in this ball game, we're on the losing end of the stick from a physicality standpoint, winning the war in the trenches. Yeah. And we've got a long ways to go, and we'll see if we can't get better each week.
Well, I noticed last night too, a lot of the big guys, the big, tall, big guys were on the sidelines with no pads on last night. So you have some big folks hurt or sore or sick or.
Well, we've lost Tim Lemon for the season, and that's a two-way starter.
Right.
He started last year as a sophomore in the offensive line, and Tim actually has been hurt for several years, and finally an MRI is done on the shoulder, and anyway, it required surgery as it was two major tears. And so anyway, we've lost him for the year, which was not a person that we needed to lose.
No.
Obviously, we don't want to lose any of them, but returning starter and projected to be a two-way starter this year. But
right.
The big thing is we've got to learn to move our feet. And there were some bright spots. You see some bright spots in the ball game from time to time. We're just not consistent on offense, and defensively, we are just really challenged right now at trying to find who can be on the field they can make plays.
Right.
We know we tried to get a little bit faster by interjecting some people on the field last night. We get faster, but we don't. We're still. I don't know how many tackles we've missed, but it was a ton of tackles that we kept trying to hit big old 17 up high. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, back when I played this game, number one, I knew who to hit high and who not, and number two, if somebody's trucked me one time, I'm not gonna hit them high again. I'm gonna take the shins and hang on.
That's right.
And for whatever be, we just don't have that mentality right now of figuring out that and not everybody. I mean, you'll see. There's one young man that I saw last night playing for us that got trucked early on. Tried to block some people down. By the end of the ball game, he's tackling people to the ground. So you just hope that some more start learning that lesson.
See that lesson. And one thing you said after the game last night in the huddle that was important to me is you looked at those young men and said, fellas, this is just work. You think you've worked hard, but you hadn't worked hard enough. And if you want to play this game and get better, challenge them to get better every week, put your work gloves and your work boots on because this is work.
Yeah, there's no magic pill, no magic formula.
Right.
It's just old-fashioned hard work. And body gets sore. And at some point in time, though, all of us that have played the game, there's that switch that finally turns, and you start realizing, I thought I was giving great effort until now, and I realized this is what I needed to be doing in order to be able to play.
Right. That's it. I'll tell you what we're going to do right now, folks, is we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with the first quarter of Tullahoma and McGavock.
Ascend Federal Credit Union, raising possibilities.
Since 1917, Builder Supply has been the place to go for all your building materials. It's where the contractors have shopped for years. Builder Supply stocks quality Benjamin Moore paint, Tamco shingles, case knives, DeWalt, Stanley, and Makita tools, Peachtree Southern Rose and Sun windows, Traders grills, Quickset locks, General Shell brick, Yellow wood, and pass load nail guns and nails. Experienced salespeople are there to help you find the right products for your job. So when you're ready to build, whether large or small, think Builder Supply. 301 South Atlantic Street in Tullahoma.
It's football time in Tennessee. Keith Barnett here with the Russell Barnett Automotive family, where we're ready for another great season. The name you've trusted for over 30 years and home of the million-mile warranty. Stop by one of our 4 locations and catch that next great deal. Russell Barnett Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Chevrolet GMC, Ford and Mercury in Winchester, and Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. My question is, why buy anywhere else?
What in the world could ever put me? For real, you can see it in his swagger. You can see it in his swagger. He a boss, you can see it in his swag. How we walk, how we talk.
A lot can change in 2 years, but not everything has to. With the Charter Price Guarantee, lock in low rates for 2 years, because sometimes it's nice to know what's on the road ahead.
Our captains last night, 34, Trevor Denny, 71, Kelton Hickerson, 25, Brandon Koch, and number 4, Zane Price. And, 4 of our seniors and young men that put time in this summer and just thought they needed to be honored last night with the opening game.
Coach, I told Hickerson yesterday, he had number 71, I found my old East Junior High jacket when I was pulling guard. I was 71 when I was in the 7th grade, and had my first letter jacket I'd ever gotten in team sports. He was tickled to death about that. His granddaddy came over and looked at it because he went to East as well.
McGavock wins the coin toss, and they choose the football. They want to put their offense on the field first. Pretty good job on kickoff coverage there. Zane Price and Riley Darden on the tackle. And I've got them just outside the 20-yard line. We talk about that all the time, how the guy closest to the ball seems to be the guy that jumps off. They open up running the inside zone, and when we call the inside zone, quarterback is just reading. And if the defensive end sits or goes upfield, he hands the football off. If the defensive end goes down inside and takes the running back, then the quarterback's going to pull it and keep it. And, their offense and our offense kind of mirror each other. their defense and our defense, as far as schemes go, mirror each other.
That was a good job by Dalton Cox getting out there. That old boy wanted to go outside bad. Dalton didn't make the tackle, but he made the play.
Here's a little counter, and Trevor Denny on the stop there. And now they go to an empty set, and I think if I remember right, it was their right tackle flinch there, and so got them in the 3rd and long, and they try a speed sweep, and Dalton not able to make the tackle, but Trey Burks does, and so it brings up 4th down. And this old boy gets a hold of this football because he's going to punt a 49-yard punt off a bounce snap. He absolutely gets a hold of it. And the ball rolls in the end zone.
Pretty good sized lad, wasn't he, Coach, to be a punter?
And he was the last one to come on at that moment in time because I wasn't sure they were doing so much subbing. I wasn't sure whether they were punting or not. Right there, Riley Darden, we opened up trying to run the speed sweep there and lose yardage, and Justin gains 1 or 2 back right there. And now we're going to run a quick screen here to Zane Price. And good block by Josh Duncan there, and also Riley Darden. And Zane Price picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, it's a good play. I've always liked that play.
Coach Melton brought that play years ago. Back when it first started becoming popular. And, trying to run a little trap play ourselves, and we get the end trap, but we're not keeping a backside lineman from coming. We hit Zane Price over the middle there on a shallow route and pick up the 1st down though, so it keeps the drive going, and the offense has done what we've asked them to do, make 2 first downs. Everything else beyond that's icing on the cake right now. And another pitch and catch from Justin Brown to Riley Darden.
How long's Justin been quarterbacking, Coach?
About 4 weeks.
Well, I mean, he's doing a good job for a 4-week quarterback.
We actually, probably started working him 5 weeks ago, but he missed a week because of the injury situation. And so about 4 weeks total. And got a 3rd and short right here, and instead of running the ball, we decide to keep on trying to work that middle.
What a catch.
Riley Darden makes the catch, and so we've got a 1st down inside the 20.
And this is looking good. We're coming down that field.
First drive season for us, and right there we've got a kind of a bust on our play, but we're able to make positive yardage, and we're down to the 12-yard line. We just need to keep this drive going now. And we're trying to trap, and we don't get called for holding.
3.
And so instead of having the ball 1st and goal at the 4, we're back up to the 20-yard line. And
that 54 is a pretty good sized lad, isn't he?
he's a very big young man.
Ball's marked at the 32, 2nd and 10.
Right out of field goal range. And almost a great play by Zane. We got him in a 3rd and 10 right here. And they go empty. And we're able to, Aaron Gray there and Trey bring the quarterback down. So defense has done what they needed to do. Three downs and out. And this time, Trey's going to do a great job of coming up and catching a very short punt.
You know, that's a special talent right there.
It is.
To be able to do that and keep control of the football.
We try to run a trap play again, and we get a couple of yards. It's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. You know, it was big because they had gotten a few first downs to open the game up. So they've got us backed up on our end of the field, and we've talked constantly with the offense. We need to be able to get at least 2 first downs, and that way we can win the field position battle. And as the game goes along, here in the second quarter, you're going to see that that's what changes. They win the field position battle, and therefore they're able to get a touchdown.
Move the ball downfield, yeah.
Because they get the short field.
Right. All right, folks, we're going to take another short commercial break, and we'll be back with the second quarter of Tullahoma High School football versus McGavock, the opening game at home of John Olive's 20th year in Tullahoma.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Unlike all the rest, Southern Community Bank will provide you with a different banking experience because you are our first priority. Our services are intuitive. Our team is friendly. Our approach is refreshing. Our support to the community is unwavering. And our service is clearly unique. We offer accounts that make banking simple and hassle-free with all the conveniences you want and need most. Call Southern Community Bank and experience the bank that is unlike all the rest.
Hey football fans, I'm Miss Tennessee 2012, Chandler Lawson, and spokesperson for Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee. 1 in 4 Tennessee children don't know where their next meal is coming from, and often their struggles are silenced. In Tullahoma, 5 Loaves for Kids sees that need and ensures that hundreds of students are fed each weekend. But that wouldn't happen without dedicated volunteers and generous contributions. So tonight, I'm asking you to contribute to the fight against child hunger. Please visit www.5loavesforkidscharity.com to lend your voice.
All right, Coach, we have the ball back.
We do, and had a second down and long right there and tried to hit Cole Potter there on the out route. We're going to come back, run a screen to Trey, and able to pick up another first down. And so we run a couple of screens on them here early. And here, there's not a lot of places to go right there, and so we end up losing yardage. And come back, gonna throw the ball there in the middle of the field, and Chris Potts not quite able to hang on to it.
That was probably a good no call, but it was a close call.
It was. And we have to burn a timeout right there, and just gonna try a quick screen over here, and just good battling Cole Potter battled hard and picked up a few yards. So we'll punt it back to him. And Cody Morton doing the punting last night, and it's probably the worst punt that he had on the night. Hopefully, we were hoping to back them on up and get them down deep on their end of the field, but not able to. Zane Price on the tackle there, but we gave up way too many yards. And there is a great job, Cody Michael at linebacker, and that's the way you want to see people get tackled.
Yeah, it looked good.
Here they come rolling this way, and here comes the big quarterback, as they've made a change at quarterback, and this young man's really a talented young man.
And the game starts changing right around him.
Yeah, with him coming in, because he's a big physical kid, and he's being looked at by several schools, and he makes a difference. We're not able to keep him contained and don't tackle him very well. Big play right here. Guys wide open. They're going to come right back to him again, and we're just not moving. We're not getting where we need to get to. And part of it's inexperience, but we've got to get guys to look around the field and see where people are. And
yeah, that fella doesn't have a whole lot of style. He just kicks the dog out of it.
Yeah, he does. And we couldn't quite turn the corner there. They have a lot of athletic speed on the field, but we really thought, that was a rather low punt, and we still could not. We have to use a timeout right there because of two young kids, both of them trying to go in motion at the same time, and we end up right there. Again, it goes back to inexperience. We end up hitting the runner, motion man with the football right as it hits Justin's hands, and this is probably the worst offensive series of the game for us. We do nothing but go backwards right here. And, their defensive ends are quick enough that they can outmaneuver our tackles, and so we can't even get to the edge right there.
It's a good punt.
We got to make that tackle. We just got to make it. We got to get some people to grow up as defenders and learn to tackle. We're bad right there. We're not taking the dive man, and that's the first thing you take. You got to get the dive taken care of, and then big old young man there.
Yeah, that's a bunch of quarterback right there.
And McGavock, they're making mistakes too. It's not like that they are playing a perfect game or anything. We felt like going into the game, we were very similar to each other. I think the biggest difference was, though, they took the running back on the dive, and we're not.
Yeah.
For the most part, we got kids
4 missed tackles
that are
right
running
there.
upfield, and you can't run upfield. You got to squeeze down that line, and that's the first thing you got to do against that style offense is take that running game away. And so we find ourselves behind with 4.5 minutes to go in the half. 7-0 McGavock. This will be Trey Burks on the return. does a good job of weaving through there and not able to get the corner turned. But good field position. See if we can respond. And one of those where Justin, if he had to do it over again, he'd have handed the ball off there to Marcellus Scott.
Yeah.
And here, we don't get the block made on the outside, and probably a little bit of a tough call there. I probably didn't do a great job at that. Good job by Marcellus Scott. And
Marcellus ran hard last night.
If we'd have picked up that yardage on the first down play, we'd have been in good shape. We tried to draw them off here and not able to, so we'll
close.
Take a timeout and punt the football away.
Now, are both of our kickers this year, are they both new to the position?
Hayden Hines played on junior varsity last year. Cody Morton was a student at the Webb School last year. Okay. And both of them have been in a battle, and it will not surprise me if they both don't end up punting and kicking, and some of them, one of them last night, Cody did most of the job of all the kicking game, but Hayden is not that far away. It's not going to be just a clear cut. This is your first team, that's your second team.
Who's doing the best job that week?
I think Cody's definitely the kickoff man. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's got a little bit stronger leg. But I think punting-wise, one of them could just have a really, really good week and be the punter that week.
Wide open.
And I think also, same thing on kicking PATs and stuff. Same play that they missed on just a minute ago. I mean, 32's a really good football player, and you got to know where he is on the field. And,
And he's a 10th grader. No, that's wrong. Number 6 is the one that's the.
Right, I was thinking 30. I know 32 started for him last year. Yeah. And he's a good football player. And make a little yardage here.
Good run.
Good run.
27, gain of 12 and a first down.
Come back, we'll do it again. This time, I think it's Marcellus Scott. And again, we get good yardage. And we come back again, and this time at the backside tackle, makes the play on us. We had everybody else blocked over here again as we were outnumbering them by putting the formation into the boundary. Just throw off and high there. He was only hit Zane in the flats, or out on an out route. We come back, trying to hit Chris Potts there. And this time we'll throw it to Zane. And
great job.
Fortunately for us, it worked, because otherwise we'd turn the ball right back over to them with less than, 30 seconds to go in half or so. We get Cole Potter behind them, but just out of bounds and catching the pass there.
That young man has a little bit of speed, doesn't he, Coach?
He does. And good presence there by Justin. He knew where his receiver was. He knew he was under pressure, and he just tried to unload it. We come back here trying to run the quick screen, and now the big defensive end's getting out there. They quit rushing the quarterback there. Anytime they thought a screen was coming, you could hear them out on the field talking, And so anyway, their end started, instead of putting their ears back, they started sitting a little bit more on us. And so therefore we go away from the screens in the second half.
Well, in the game, as you said, you could sort of watch the transition in the game as that big quarterback came in and they changed the way they started doing things.
Well, he made a difference just because we didn't tackle him very well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we didn't take the dive in the first half, except that one time when Cody Michael stepped up in there and nailed him for a very short gain. People who were supposed to be taking the dive they were out of position, and sometimes you don't know, but strange things happen. You see strange things being run where you just stand on the sideline and say, what are we doing? It's not anything like what we practiced during the week. It's not and it's not like they've been surprised or anything. It's just that human brain.
Yeah. Got a thinking problem.
And the thing about it, I'll give you an example on the trap that we were running early in the game, and we kept getting a lineman looked like he's a hero. We were sitting there on the sideline after the second time. We're going, is that guy that much better than our lineman that we can't touch him? Well, then the third time we ran it, Coach THS says, no, he's not that much better. We're not blocking him. And why we wouldn't block him, I don't have a clue, but I just know it happens.
That's a young team, and opening game of the season, and like you say, one of the things that has always impressed me about you, no matter what type of team you and your staff have, you challenge them to become better every week.
I hope so.
Through hard work
thing,
and not a status quo. We're not a status quo team. We're not there yet. No matter how good you think you are, we're not there yet. It's work and get better every week, and that's what these young men are going to have to do.
I think Gene Stallings is the first one I heard, and I'm sure others before him, but I remember hearing Coach Stallings that your last ball game ought to be your best ball game.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
I think it's a great philosophy to have. It's hard to do.
Very hard to do.
But he always, I remember him saying that when I was a young coach, that your last ball game that you play ought to be your best ball game.
There you go. There you go. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the band program.
Hello, Trent McNabb here, welcoming you to the brand new showroom at Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac in Tullahoma. And here's something they don't have across town. Come check out our brand new state-of-the-art service drive.
Hello, Trey McNabb here, General Manager of Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep. You've seen my little brother on TV. I taught him everything he knows, except how to give you more money for your car. Come see me.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma. Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
To be a star athlete, you have to use the right equipment. Anything short of that is, well, ineffective. Make Top Rehab the best tool in your bag, especially after you've had a sports-related injury. Yes, you may get tired. Yes, you may get uncomfortable. But when the final rehab whistle blows, you get results. Top Rehab, the right equipment for your star athletes.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. The team's taking the field. Not many people. Oh, my. He missed. Off to a rough start here. Somebody wants to go home. What's he doing?
If you're not watching college football in HD, you're watching Pee Wee TV. Graduate to Charter TV in HD and let it all in.
All right, folks, we're back, and we have a couple of things we need to talk about. One of them is right here. Look at here. This is just Q Water, and we want to thank Rick Gerwe and his family and the fine folks over at Mid-South Distributing for being our water sponsor each and every year on the John Olive Fifth Quarter Show. And you don't know what to do, you dry it out, hydrate. How do you hydrate? Get in the Q, get in a big old bottle of this right here, and it is some good water, good stuff. And thank you, Mid-South Distributing, Rick Gerwe and family. Something else I want to talk about, there it is, there's the wash spot. This is a new car wash in Tullahoma. It's located out across from Lowe's, out on the Shelbyville Highway, and it is an express tunnel car wash, and it gets your car clean and quickly clean, and it's been open for about 6 months. They have 4 washes ranging from $6 to $12, have free vacuuming with every wash, and the vacuums are very powerful, do a good job, and it's owned by a couple of local folks, a couple of Tullahoma people, and the specials they're running right now is a $3 express wash, that's daily, and that's 50% savings, and they have a back to school special at half price on all car washes on Wednesday in August. They're located at 2180 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma, right across from Lowe's at the light. And this is a good thing. This is Lori Boone and Chuck Leverett, and they're 2 Tullahoma people who have come back here, and they've opened up the wash spot. So we thank them for being on the John Olive Fifth Quarter Show. And, get that car clean, take it out there and let somebody else do it for you for $3, half price on Wednesdays during August. You better get it quick. August is going away fast. We thank you, Wash Spot. We'll be right back after these messages.
Since 1889, Traders Bank has been helping our neighbors realize their dreams. Whether our customers are looking to put a roof over their heads, try their hand at entrepreneurship, or see themselves behind the wheel of a shiny new car, the folks at Traders Bank have always been ready to dive in with them. Because at Traders, we lend you more than just money. We lend you our good name. Traders Bank, you're welcome.
Hello, I'm Jim Woodard from Woodard's Diamond Showroom. Some think that since we're a single store operation, we don't have the buying power of the mega chain or department stores. Woodard's is a part of the Master IJO Jewelers, the world's largest jewelry buying group. This gives us the power of $800 million in sales. You get the best of both worlds, the buying power of a major with the customer service of a hometown jeweler. Woodard's Diamond Showroom, inside Northgate Mall of Tullahoma.
Are your teeth dull, chipped, stained, or crooked? If so, call the dental practice of Dr. Mike Long. For a wider, brighter, more attractive smile, Dr. Long offers cosmetic dentistry at its best through whitening, bonding, and veneers. Dr. Long also uses laser technology, eliminating anesthesia and drilling. When you are ready to enhance your smile, call Dr. Mike Long, family practice dentistry for 29 years.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
It was our option, and we choose to take the football. And we really, we need to come out. We need to move the football. We need to score. Make it a 14-7 game. If we can get it 14-7, then we're back in it and ready to roll. And we open up with a 4-yard gain. We're going to come back, and I think we hit Zane Price here and pick up another couple of yards. And now we got to make, this is a very makeable first down, and we just don't get it done. And so therefore we have to punt the football right back to them. And that's one of those where, offensively we'll look at that and say, we should have had first down right there. We had a chance to have a first down. 3rd and 3 is definitely should favor the offense.
Do you usually say anything to your players at halftime, or do you is that something that your area coaches, your team coaches?
What we do is we meet as a coaching staff at the start of the half so the players can get there. We have a drink waiting on them there at halftime, and they get their drink and take care of any other things. And our defensive staff meets with them for about 5 or 6 minutes. And last night, offensive staff-wise, we met with them only for a couple of minutes as we were behind schedule a little bit there on what we normally do at halftime. And, but we make whatever adjustments like when we talked last night offensively, we talked to each offensive lineman about where's the guy lining up on you the vast majority of the time, to make sure that we're seeing the same thing that they're feeling. And then we talked about being able to run the next series. You'll see, I think Stovall may be at running back when we start running it next series, but we talked about running our inside zone play. And, good job there by their quarterback. He bought extra time until he found a receiver coming wide open. Bad job by us keeping him contained. Good defense there. Zane Price making the tackle. Zane Price, I think, probably played a pretty good game on both sides of the football. Didn't do very good right there, but he was about the 4th one that did not make a tackle on number 17 just then. And I'm telling you, you better be getting into his legs. So they do what you should do, Come back and score. They came back and took the ball right down the field and scored. And And so they're up 20-0, and you know, I felt like if we could have scored that first drive, that may have shook their confidence a little bit and probably helped our confidence. As it was, we stayed 0-0 through the first quarter, and then second quarter, they've now come out, they've got their confidence, and they've come out, you know, looking to put us away. And
here's that little number 6 I was talking about.
Yeah, this is Jonathan Stovall, and this is something we talked about at halftime, that we had to be able to run this play and
run over some people.
You know, Jonathan rips it up in there and picks up good yardage. And this time we got a little pass on, and we throw it to Jonathan. And again, he heads north and south. He knows where the goal line is. And so he picks up another first down, even though it was only a 4-yard pass, and he got hit pretty quickly. But he was heading north and south, so he picks up the yardage.
Great cut right there.
And
he
good job by the offensive line there. The offensive line is getting on their people and staying on them. We've got it 1st and goal at the 5-yard line, and inexperience right here at quarterback. He should have pulled it, and he'd have probably walked into the end zone. Instead, he gave it to Trey, and they had 2-on-1. But we'll run the same play the other direction and watch him when he pulls it this time. He's going to run over somebody to get into the end zone. The first time, he could have probably walked into the end zone without having to run over anybody. But Justin will learn from that. And then we're going to go through a fiasco here. We got taken way too long to get this executed, so we get a delay of game. And then they jump off sides, so we'll back it right back down to the 3. And then we get a bad snap. Most people won't remember what was his name? Your premium?
Arrow, your premium.
Yeah, that's what I thought was getting ready to happen. A good kickoff coverage. That's a great job. Dalton Cox down there making the play, and we got him at 13-yard line.
And I think that's the one where he stepped back into the end zone. There was one where their guy stepped back into the end zone, and the official let him come out. And I was starting to holler, but we tackled him on about the 13th, so I thought, well, that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. Had an illegal forward pass right there. So we've got them in long yardage situations, and we just don't tackle the guy. You know, we just keep missing him. And they end up picking up positive yardage, and instead of it, they went from a long yardage situation to where they're in makeable yardage situation now. Here's the empty set. Wonder where he's going to try to throw the football. You know, that shouldn't happen. You should not be able to roll out when there's no back to lead you to the outside. And you know, there's no lead blocker.
Be able to stand there.
That should not happen to us, and now they're just taking it to us. They're knocking us down, knocking us around. Star McCollum there making the tackle. And, you know, all momentum's on their side, and boy, they're just ripping us. You know, we don't take the dive right there. 32 runs over us, and so they come right back down the field and make it 27-6, and you know, they're not going to let us climb our way back into the ball game, and we can't force our will upon them. And Cole Potter running hard.
Yeah.
Good kickoff return. We got good field position out at the 33-yard line. And go for it here, and we're just
great try, great effort.
Just can't quite connect right there, but we decided to take a shot at them. We felt like we needed to get a big play back against them, and Justin makes a good play out of a bad situation there. Leafs gives us a chance. We got a 3rd down and about 7 right here, and we don't fumble the football, and they don't recover it, and so now we put our defense in a really tough situation. Now we're already on our heels, and now the defense has got to go right back out there again. And there's a missed tackle, missed tackle, missed tackle, missed tackle, missed tackle, and finally we tackle him. And
after about 6 touches.
Yeah, you just can't do that. And they're just absolutely taking it to us now.
Is good.
And so with 44 seconds to go in the quarter, they have cemented their lead.
Yeah, that was a backbreaker, that fumble right there.
And I don't think it would have made a whole lot of difference whether it'd been 70 yards away or 30 yards away.
Right,
At that
right.
time, they're absolutely taking it to us. The last 2 series, their offense has taken it to our defense. Come back and hit Zane there. Make a 2nd down and short. And we hit Zane again. And he picks up the 1st down and also picks up a cramp. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yep.
And, it's ugly.
Yeah.
That's all you can say.
Well, and it's young people, and they're learning, and they're tired, and they're going, wait a minute, what's happening here? And I can't catch that guy. Because guess what? I might not be in as good a shape as I thought I was in.
Yep.
And he's a hard runner.
We really thought that coming in that if we could get them to the 4th quarter, that just watching them on video in their scrimmages, we thought they were not going to be in shape, and nobody's in good shape at this point in time. But it was us. They were in better shape than us.
Yeah. The way things are now, you're not allowed enough practice time, really.
You just
to get in the kind of shape you need to be in.
You can try all you want until you start playing in the games.
Right.
That's when you really get in shape.
That's when you know where you need to be. Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
They say you see the world differently. It's like I see the miracle of life in even the smallest things. And that's what it feels like to survive. St. Thomas Heart performs the most heart procedures in the state. That experience means more survivors. For more than 40 years, they have been leaders in cardiac care. That's experience you can count on because you want to survive.
Do you need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the parts yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our gravel parking lot up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign, domestic, old, new, with new vehicles added daily. You can even search the entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it back. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until 6:30 or dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
Life moves fast.
But on the internet, it moves at super speed. Like the awesome video that was posted last night. Today it'll be shared, then adored, then parodied, then overexposed. And by tomorrow morning, rediscovered by a whole new generation of users.
Download faster, upload faster, stream faster, and experience life at the speed of internet with high-speed Charter Internet.
We open up with the football and hand the ball off to Marcellus Scott. And big defensive tackle hangs on to his foot there. And we're working a little bit of our 2-minute offense right now. Ball gets tipped, and Caleb Olive catches it. And the official calls a defensive pass interference right there, so we take the penalty because it gives us a little bit more yardage.
That's great awareness on Caleb's part right there.
You know, Justin, he'll learn to set his feet a little better. He's not going to be a great technical quarterback. There's just not enough time to work with him.
What grade is
He's a
Justin?
senior.
He's a senior.
Yeah, and you know, but he's hanging in there and he's throwing the ball pretty good. And as he learns to read a little bit and decides, you know, that he can be aggressive, then things will hopefully get better for him. Not a bad pass right there. We can't hang on to it, but not a bad pass.
It looked like a big old hand got up in there in the middle of all of that right there.
And we come back and try to hit the quick screen, and right there you can't, you know, and that's something Riley will learn, that you can't dance at all. You just got to catch it and go, and if they tackle you, you get a 2 or 3 yard gain. If you don't get if they don't tackle you, then you got a chance for the big play.
Right.
But if you get there and you stomp grapes, they close on you so rapidly.
Stomp grapes.
We just struggled right there, and then once because of where he picked the ball up from, you know, the tackle's trying to protect and push his man outside, and he was pushing him right to where Justin had picked up the football. Josh Duncan there on the tackle. And Nick Gagnier, first tackler there.
Marcellus is a junior.
Yeah. Zane Price thought he had the tackle, and the guy never actually went down, and picks up another 5 or 6 yards.
Wrap up.
You got to drive them to the ground.
Wrap up and drive them to the ground. That's right. You know, and you see a lot of these kids come up and they make the big lick and just think just the force of their blow is going to knock somebody down, and it just doesn't do it.
No.
You got to hold on.
And they're going to try to hit the little out route right there, and 2 sophomores on the tackle, Chris Potts and Jonathan Stovall. We'll make them punt it to us, and I believe this is where they've been getting bad snaps, and I think this is where they get an even worse snap. We have a hard time tackling even the big boy there. But we do get him before he gets a first down. And so we will take over the football right there.
Good field position.
And we hit Zane Price in the middle of the field. With their top coverage, that's what they were giving us, so that's where we kept trying to work, was right into the middle of the field. Zane did a great job of expanding that area, and we come right back, run the same play again.
Good catch.
You know, good little drive going right here. We got to get to where we can run the football, though, and if we can get to where we can run the football, it'll make Justin a better passer.
Right.
If all we can do is pass, I think we'll be in trouble this year, and it's nothing on Justin. He just doesn't have the experience that you got to have.
Sure.
And
Who's number 7? Caught that pass.
Van Williams.
Van Williams. That's
Van Williams. Senior wide receiver, and Jonathan Stovall there on the tackle. And take the dive that time and hold them to a short gain. There was a host of Wildcats there on the tackle, led by Jordan Kinney. And I believe, if I remember right, that was Aaron Banks. And they're trying to drain the clock down, so they're holding their snap. And got a tackling.
3. Fourth guy.
Jonathan Stovall makes the tackle. We call a timeout right there because 5 minutes or so to go in the game now, and you know, if we can score again, you back to at least thinking you have a chance. Zane Price fair catches it there as we went for the block and not close. We're gonna come back right here and trying to hit Zane Price on what they call a smash route. And, Justin has good touch. We got to get a little bit more velocity on the ball, though, so that
got to get rid of that ball.
Yeah.
So go get them.
Trying to work the middle again, and I thought we'd got it in there to him again, which. We were trying to set up one more big shot at them to go deep on them one more time, and don't know whether I don't think we ever get to take that shot again. But that's what we're working on by working in the middle like we were, and you know, they're inexperienced quarterback. You know, they probably should have called us for grounding right there. And if it'd probably been a closer ball game, they probably would have. But then we wouldn't have been going for it on 4th down. If it'd been a closer ball game, we'd been punting the ball.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ifs, and great play by them right there. I mean, that's tough play.
Dustin McAvee's for Raiders.
That quarterback's just getting too much time to.
Yeah, but that's just, I mean, that's tough to do. What he just did is really difficult to do. We tried to do it with Jared Davis, and it's just tough. It is not an easy thing to do, and both their quarterbacks have tried it. One of them got called for an illegal forward pass, and then that one, you know, if you got technical, you could have called it for having illegal blockers downfield, because the guy called it just past the LOS, but it was so close to the LOS, you're not going to see that get called very often. It'd have to really be a nitpicking crew to call that. But it's hard to do. It's not easy.
You know, one thing I thought last night that they let the play go on sometimes a lot longer than most of them do before they whistled it.
Yeah.
You know, when there was like a scrum and they're all in there kind of fighting and not really going anywhere. Usually you get a whistle there and it might be another 5 seconds or so before they'd whistle the play.
That's correct. Aaron Banks makes 2 good plays there back to back, and that'll end the ball game. And we get whipped rather good by Nashville McGavock, 34-13. They're not what I would call a great football team. I don't know what kind of year they'll end up having.
They have some good athletes on their team.
I really felt like we were very similar teams. After the ball game, I felt like they were the more physical football team up front. I thought that quarterback obviously was more physical than most of our players, and 32. I thought ran the ball really well as the game went along. After he caught that touchdown pass for the second touchdown of the game, his light seemed to light up a little bit brighter, and so forth. On our side of the ball, Justin Brown did some things good for us. Zane Price played well. We had some young receivers make plays. I thought our offensive line blocked better in the second half than we did in the first half. And, defensively, we just got way too many missed tackles.
Right.
The good part about that is if we go and we work hard at tackling, which is a fine line nowadays because of, if you do too much hitting, you lose players, and if you don't do enough,
you lose ball games.
You're losing ball games, and so it's a tough old line that it goes back to the sport of football is unique. It is a total team thing that you can be a great player, but if you've got 2 or 3 teammates that can't carry their end, you're not going to be very successful as a football team. And it's a tough, hard-nosed game. I mean, it's a physical game, it's a mental game, it's an emotional game. These coaches that think that there's not such thing as momentum.
There's mo.
I disagree. I see it all the time, and I think it changes, and I think they got momentum in the second quarter. And
never let go of it.
Never let go of it.
Yeah, and if we could have come out and done a little bit right there at the first of that second half, it might have changed things. But they were ready to play ball when they came back out. Yeah. And but folks, it's football. It's Tullahoma High School football. It's one of the greatest things that happens around here. And we have a young, wonderful bunch of young men. And like I said, they've been challenged. Their assignment is to be better next week than they were this week, and I guarantee you this coaching staff that we have will see that happens. They'll find a way for this to take place here, and we're going to win some ball games, and we're going to feel good about these young men and go forward and conquer.
We're going to try to get ready to play the Cookeville Cavaliers.
Now, will that be our first, is that a conference game for us? That's not a conference. When's our first conference game?
Columbia the following week.
Mm-hmm. And they lost a bunch of folks last year as well.
They've got the majority of theirs
back. Do they?
Yeah, they do. They're picked to win the district. They and Shelbyville are the 2 teams in the district that are basically the same teams that they were last year. Except a year older. And last night around the district, Franklin County won. Lincoln County got beat by Giles County. Shelbyville beat Coffee County, and Columbia beat Lawrence County. And so, we'll worry about Cookeville right now, which lost to Brentwood last night.
Do they still have that big running back, Cookeville? Or did he graduate?
I hope he graduated. I can tell you this, I'm going to bring some of you old guys out to teach how to tackle them in the shins.
We'll get them. We'll get them. Go low.
Because you better be low and you better be in his shins. And, I can remember hitting big old backs in their shins, and you just hang on.
I remember one time Benny Garrick sitting over here, and this was a teammate of ours, and Benny's class, David Lemming, played blocking back, and I was 2 years younger, and I was trying to make my way onto the team. And this is preseason, and the blocking back rolled out, and David was a big-chested boy, and he ran sort of at an angle forward, had feet about that long. Why, shoot, I came around from my corner position, and I hit him right in the thigh pads, I don't know, it's about 10, 15 minutes later, I woke up. I thought, I'm not going to hit him there anymore. I'm going lower still.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I was not a very big person in high school, maybe 140 pounds, 143.
I was 153.
And I can remember we played Loudon in the state semifinals, and I'm watching their previous playoff game, and they had a big old guy named Bubba Brown who went on to Clemson to be two-time, I think, All-ACC, and 1 year Defensive Player of the Year over there. And anyway, he's their big running back. And I'm watching him just steamroll people, and he even stepped on one boy's face, as he went over the top of him. And I'm sitting there, Olive, don't hit him above the knees. If you end up one-on-one with him, you hit that shin as hard as you can hit it, and at least make it hurt a little bit for him, And the hardest part is, though, you can't keep your head up when you do that. So
no,
it's tough. But
you're diving.
But that's
and
all
hoping,
you can do.
Diving and hoping.
Grab that shin when they're that big.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Coach, we'll look forward to next week's football. That's at Tullahoma, at home, against Cookeville, and be in the seats, folks. We need you. And that's this week's John Ollie 5th Quarter Show. We'll see you next time.